go. Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is part of Star Wars Saturdays, an ongoing anthology campaign where I take different RPGs and remix or reskin them so that we can gather together and play in Star Wars, tell a story together. And we are currently playing a longer, like a quarterly, as it is called, of Stellar Conflict, a game that was posted to Google Plus way back in the day. And it's from a person who posted it up. Their name is Jared James, and they posted to Google Plus. Luckily, there were a number of documents that were on Google Drive, so I was able to pull those down. And I've remixed it just a little bit, put in some Stonetop basic moves because I like them. They're effectively Dungeon World 2.0. And Stellar Conflict is a Dungeon World hack. So we have a lot of the things from Dungeon World, Powered by the Apocalypse game, which is kind of D&D and PBTA got together and had a baby. And so this is Stellar Conflict is Star Wars, and Dungeon World got together and had a baby. And then the baby around the teenage years decided that they were like not Dungeon World, they're Dungeon World 2.0 and they're Stonetop. That's my painful, strained analogy of what this is. We are in session 5 of Stellar Conflict of 10. So we're in the middle part where we get to tease some things out, learn a bit more about our characters. And you might notice that we have one person missing. Cisco may be able to join us a little bit late. He has some stuff to take care of this morning, which is a-okay. I gotta be amazing friends now. And now I'm going to change my little blurb. Thank you for that suggestion. I like playing role-playing games with amazing friends. So let's go around the horn. If you could introduce yourself, tell us a bit about your character, and tell me what your character's drive is. Is one of the things that we talked about at the end of last session, a reminder about drives. We'll start from the right-hand side of the character keeper, heading towards the left. So Andesh, if you could kick it off.
I could. I'm Anders, he, him. I'm playing Princess Telepath, she, her. She's a noble who has escaped from an Empire-occupied planet. After some very mild acts of rebellion, she's now on the run, maybe. I don't know if anyone's coming after her. But she knows what people should do, and they should just do it. It would be easier. Somehow they don't always agree. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much, Andesh. Let's head to the left here. Now it is Steven's turn.
Hi, my name is Steven. Pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Tassa Bray, whose pronouns are she, her. And Tassa is part of a culture called the Zaysan Shah. They were abandoned force sensitives who didn't know they were abandoned, so hated the Jedis for leaving them out, but didn't know what was going on, and the Jedi didn't know that they were there. So they developed their own culture around the Force and that kind of stuff. And they don't use lightsabers; they use these spinning discs with blades on them. She's out looking for her family, but along the way, family is very important in the culture, and she's trying to help others, and has kind of gotten sidetracked, helping different people along the way.
Excellent.
Oh, and my drive. My
yes,
drive
thank you.
is
Yes.
revealing truth, uncover a hidden truth, or reveal corruption.
Nice. So we need to have a system that needs to be defied, and hidden truths or corruption that need to be uncovered. Last but not least, welcome back, Cody. If you could introduce yourself, tell us a bit about your character and the drive.
Yeah, how's it going? I'm Cody. I use the he, him pronouns. I'm playing Kaz Kengrave, also he, him. He is the bounty hunter. He's got roving eyes, practical clothes, a scarred body, and a dozen holsters. He's more of a businessman bounty hunter, if all things are to be honest. And his drive is money. He wants to gain profit from a hunt. He's here to get in the black, right? He's tired of living in the red. I think those are correct financial terms. I don't know. I'm bad with money. But Kaz Gengrave, he's making that cheddar. He's making those creds. And that's what he's here for. And that's his drive. And that's all you need to know about him.
But we'll learn so much more. A question about that drive, because I was looking over the drives as I thought about today's session. I want to make, like, to me, a hunt, I think of it more broadly, right? You're not currently on a hunt at the moment, but if you can pull some credits, I would think that that is moving towards fulfilling that drive. Do you feel the same way, or do you really want to dial it in to hunts?
You know, I kind of had the same understanding that it's a little bit broader, because if I remember correctly, and that's kind of been my wide open, like, oh, this will push us forward, is anytime action's been cooking off, right? Kaz turns to his secretary and says, line up some bounties on these guys. Like, there's got to be paperwork out there for whatever's being asked of him. And so he I think he's happy to pursue things knowing that there's going to be something that he could find that this will match with. It's not going to be wasted effort.
Excellent.
But there does need to be money.
There does need to be money. Joe's money. No, wait. That is from Empire Records. Okay. We ended the session after you all had stopped the threat and disarmed a woman by the name of Virith and her lightsaber, and you were greeted as heroes by the people of this space station where you came in and fended off pirates and defeated this Virith threat. Nephil Station is very happy with you, and Princess Tirlapath, you were recognized by Mr. Natsuki Sakanori, who is the corporate leader in the governing body of the League of Arcs, and he has invited you to a formal dinner. We ended the session, if I remember correctly, with you guys on the station's like VIP suite. It's very Cloud City, except more grays than whites, and a member of the Ark's staff came to fetch Princess Tirlapath and Tassa Bray. And Kaz Kingrave, you may have been suited up, not in armor suit, but like in handsome Star Wars suit. But it turns out you are not invited to this soiree for whatever reason. I'm sure it was an oversight.
It's certainly an oversight, and it's fine. I need the time to finish these reports. Sadie, can you get the reports, bring them to my deck? It'll be fine. Everything's fine. We need to, the deals need to be made. It's not a big deal. I'm not upset about it.
Excellent. Now, Rich is checking in, GM checking in to make sure that we're all on the same page and that I didn't misremember. Virith is currently being kept sedated and is in Nephil Station's brig. Is that correct?
I think that's correct. I think that's correct. We had a conversation, was it before she was sedated, about you can get away and you don't have to follow the evils, evil way. Okay, good. Okay.
You did, and her reply was, no, Sombra will come after me. She'll come get me. Yeah. And there was a mixture of fear for Sombra coming, and also, but Sombra will come get me, and you guys are all gonna die. Sombra comes. That's what you got. All right. So we pick up with Tirlapath and Tassa Bray walking down one of the hallways, very light music playing. It is quite serene. A protocol droid is leading you guys to the area where the formal dining hall is. We see a number of windows that look out onto, like, this is an area that has a bunch of windows that look out onto the beautiful gassy Gas. That sounds terrible. That doesn't sound beautiful at all. Nebulas and it's like the multicolored gases in the breathable air just outside of the station. That is a feature of the gas supergiant of arcs. I went and looked up the word combo, so I didn't flip it in different directions as I tend to do. Tearlapath, how do you dress for this formal thing? You did bring all of your luggage, I assume. Or wait, no, you flew off on you flew off and didn't actually get to bring much of anything with you because Teresh was, your Ruping who didn't have your luggage with you. So how have you dressed?
I think I've dug around on the Duchess Gambit, her ship, and for some reason, Sin had a full set of formal robes for from my home planet. That's weird, but I just
That is really weird.
had them altered so that they fit me. So I think this is like one of these like really big, heavy robe type of things, kind of like what Queen Amidala wears in the like the when she's like full queen.
Oh, cool. Very
Uh,
fancy.
but blue. There's a lot of blue and some like silver trim, that sort of, and some red splashes just for to make it look a bit more dramatic, pop. But she doesn't have that kind of like heavy makeup or that sort of thing. I mean, she's not queen. She couldn't do that.
She just couldn't pull that off, huh? Love it.
Well, of course she could pull it off. It just wouldn't be appropriate. She's just a princess. She's not a queen yet, or at all right now. But who knows?
On the run. What about Tossa Bray? How have you dressed for this occasion?
So I think in general, Tossa Bray has dressed to blend in with the rest of them. So I think this is sort of like I'm dressed sort of like a handmaiden or a servant, and I stay a couple of steps behind the princess. And I think the servant dress here is in light browns, light grays, um, just so that they kind of blend in a little bit more. But I think that they all have a splash of headdress. So the typical head garb that Twi'leks wear kind of wrap around their leku, and I think this is a kind of a bright orange. And I think that here on the station, it's kind of the culture that represents the clouds outside.
Oh, nice. I like that. I like that. Cool. So your approach then, Tossa, is to background fade, look like a servant, don't draw attention, keep focus on Tearlapath. Is that how you've dressed and
Yeah.
your intention?
I mean, sure, we're friends, and I'm good in a around the campfire kind of discussion, but I'm not good at like formal, you know, who's gonna want to talk to me. So I'm gonna let Tierla do all the talking, and I'm gonna kind of stand behind and visit and do what needs to be done. I might ask a few of the other servants things or something, but I'm not gonna engage with the important people. Yeah.
I like it. So the two of you follow the protocol droid who rattles off some facts and figures about Nephil Station. They reveal that the Nephil Station gases that are refined here have been utilized to create alternative fuel options for various and sundry. It's hard to follow, but it sounds like their space gas is different from Tabana gas, and therefore is useful for people to develop new and different methods for. There's not mentioned that there's ways to make this into fuel for blasters, but sounds like maybe that is a thing that could be used for. Then pair of doors slide open, and we see a intimate, formal dining set. And I have to picture share because I think it's lovely. So it is very fancy. Actually, I think I have an alternate view of it. Let's see if I can find that alternate view. Yeah, this one's good. I'll drop this over. Here's another pic of from above, and you see that already seated at the table is Mr. Sakamori and Rika Somyan, who Cincinnati had thought dead, as well as a woman named a woman who is in formal dress, like a military style formal dress, and she is wearing pips that show her rank to be that of a commander, highest ranked military person you have seen here at the station. The three of them are already seated. They're drinking some light aperitif from the appropriate glass. And if you all wish to go to the dining party tab, you will see that the drink that they are currently imbibing is this beautiful long green drink that has some floating, possibly white or possibly lime colored round globules in it. And when you enter, Mr. Sakamori and the others, Mr. Sakamori immediately stops and he stands and he formally bows to you, Princess Path. And then Rika follows. Tassa, you pick a look of like, oh, we're doing this then, from Rika, as she's like, oh, we're doing this thing. And then the commander snaps off a bow as well, hers much straighter, much more less comfortable, but still with honor. And Mr. Sakamori walks over, glides over to you and places a hand on your arm. Princess Path, thank you so very much for coming to dine with us this evening. We are honored by your presence.
Thank you so much. And she bows like the appropriate amount for their like
absolutely. Yeah, which is almost stations. Not at all.
Yeah.
Barely. It's barely an inconvenience to you.
Mr. Sakamori, Commander Isers, is that how you say it?
Oh yes, he introduces you to Commander Isers, and of course you know my niece, Rika Somyan.
Miss Somyan, it's a pleasure to be here. This is my how would I introduce?
I know, I'm so excited for this.
I think I'll just introduce her as this is Mistress Tossa Bray, from and name if I know your home planet, do I?
No, I don't. You probably have heard it, but it's not necessarily something that people would commonly know. It wouldn't mean anything. So you can make up whatever you want.
Yeah. I'll name it because it's the sort of thing that, it's polite to pick up and remember and have like to keep track of. So I would mention it if I've heard.
And I think in general, the first thing that most people, whenever they hear that, would pick up is, oh, I've never heard of this place. She's a savage, right? She's a prince. Yeah.
Sure.
So it helps set the terms with everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, Rika is our like person who indicates things. So she gives an eyebrow raise of like what, and then a wrinkle of her nose to say, oh, some savage backwater planet. Maybe she even mutters something along the lines of, oh, better than Dantooine, I guess. And you, Princess Path, are guided over. You sit at the opposite end of the table from Mr. Sakamori. Tasa Bray, you are seated beside Rika Samyon. Was that Yanabar?
Yeah, that's the planet, Yanabar.
Oh, cool. Thank you for that. Awesome. I will have to keep that in mind. So, the drinks, there's a servant who comes out, and they come out with like this little door opens up, and they slide out, and it is another Twi'lek, Tasa Bray. Let me show you a picture of her. Oh goodness, I actually need to upload that. Give me just a moment. She is a purple skinned Twi'lek.
As you pull that up, I pop up and I take the servant is serving drinks, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll take the tray from her, and I will serve the drinks to the princess, to Tirla, as if that's my duty, right? So I'll do it on the correct side of the person and all that kind of stuff. I don't know a lot of etiquette, but I can probably fake my way through that. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So I think it would be interesting to me, because we've set up a fancy dinner party, to see if you pull that off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. So we're going to put it to a roll, and I think it's you're going to defy danger by charming these folks and using your charisma. Yeah.
Awesome.
So let's have you roll plus cha.
Great.
Which for you is
I
a
got a
0 or a
7.
flat roll. Oh, a 7. Excellent.
Do you have that picture of the Twi'lek?
I do. Let me show you the picture. Thank you for buying me time. This is what she looks like. She's younger, perhaps a few years younger than Tasa. I think Tasa, in my head, canon is what, like, if in human years, a late 20s, because she's been out adventuring for a while, kind of thing.
Yeah.
This girl looks 18, 19, maybe. You can just see that she. Yeah, I'll give you more if you're interested. But she's young
And a little soft.
Soft.
Yes.
Little soft. Definitely softer than Tasa Bray. So you come over, you serve to the path, you're successful, but in a defy danger, I present a lesser success a cost a consequence. And here's what I present: is you serve that. Let me ask you, Stephen, this question. In Twi'lek lore that I know, which may or may not be canon, because they were a slave race for so long, the Twi'leks developed an entire sign language, primarily with their Leku, so that they could communicate without their captors knowing what the hell they were talking about. I love that idea. I think that's a really fascinating aspect of their culture. Because Tasa Bray is from the planet of Yanavar, do you imagine that is a language that her culture grew up with, at least knowing, or do you think you missed that entirely?
So I think that the Twilight culture and race has always had this issue where they've been subjugated over long periods of time. I think that I know enough of the sign language to get by, but it's sort of like I have a strange accent, or I could speak in pidgin. It's not quite the same. May I? And so I think whenever I take the drink, I'm going to add a complication, which is that I serve the drink to Princess Tirla, and I think that the servant signs, something that was rude. She shouldn't have been served first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're picking up what I'm putting down. That's exactly
okay.
it. It's a she signs just subtly, but that is the cost. Is she says, "Oh, I was supposed to serve Sakamori first before the princess," but she doesn't interrupt you. She doesn't. She lets it happen, which you also realize is probably not going to go great for her later. And then she slides away, and as she's almost gone, Rika raises a finger to summon her and says, "Can you at least bring out the bread?" And the Twillig bows her head. Yes, of course, of course. Very sorry, very sorry. And she slips out. We cut to Kaz Kingrave. Kaz, are you hanging out in the nice suite? Have you bopped down to hang out instead at the Duchess Gambit, or are you milling about in the main concourse of the station? Where are you when we pick up?
I think Kaz is enjoying the rather luxurious suite that's been provided them. I think he's hitting the refresher. He's showering, shaving, getting himself, the call might come. It might be a last minute. They might invite him for drinks. He might not have made the dinner invite, but you never know. So he wants to be ready.
You're just checking your chronometer. Any minute now.
It's like any minute now. The comm's gonna come through, and I'm gonna be ready. So, taking care of myself.
Sweet. There's a soft hum indicating an incoming message, and you
knew it was coming.
Yeah, it's Sadie Isler, your assistant, your secretary, as it were. Master Kingrave, I've processed all of the pirates who had bounties, and all the remuneration has been placed into your accounts.
Perfect, Sadie. This is great news. Thank you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Why the call, though? Typically, you wouldn't call just to tell me you did your job.
That's extremely perceptive, of course, Master Kingrave. I wanted to inform you of two pieces of information. As I was processing all the bounties in the local area, I happened to stumble upon a bounty that's actually outside of this particular sector, which is quite fortunate because it does involve a member of your crew.
Oh. Well, I don't know if I want to ask the question I'm about to ask, but who?
It turns out that the King of Riven has placed a finder's fee for anyone who can deliver information on Princess Telepath, his lovely daughter.
Yeah, that was to be expected. We did, need to get her to the destination. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Keep your ear to the ground, of course. Listen to see if anybody, see if you see anyone picking that one up. But yeah, we're not going to be taking that, obviously, Sadie. It's kind of ridiculous to suggest that.
I understand. And interestingly enough, it turns out that someone has actually put a claim to seek that bounty.
Oh, okay. So maybe, Sadie, listen, I'm busy. I'm a busy guy. I'm about to go to a very important drink, and these calls, it sounds like he had something important. You should have led with that, Sadie. I appreciate
taking notes on that. Thank you very much, Master.
I appreciate all the work you do. I appreciate everything you're doing. You're a great help. Please just get me what's important. Tell me who is it? Does it matter? Is it somebody we're worried about?
I'm not entirely sure. Of course, you have such extensive knowledge of the different members of the bounty hunters guilds, so I'm not entirely sure if you're aware of a man by the name of Vanagander, or Van for short.
Vanagander. Is this?
So this is a great question, and possibly a way that we can engage with the system.
Let's do it. I love the system.
By the way, friends, because I became frustrated with the way that I had organized all the moves, I have, and I meant to put headers above, but if you take a look, I'll just play tour guide so that we are all on the same page with my intentions. So hopefully everybody can see. This is our combat stuff. So blast them, fight, and defend are all here together. This is our talky stuff and random encumbrance. Analyze and figure it out are both together now. I did some renaming of things so that they might be a little less dungeon worldy and a little more Star Warsy. travel stuff, chart a course, make camp, take watch are all together, and then our end of session level up, carousing, and supply are all here. And so I think you're either trying to figure this out. It seems like you're consulting your accumulated knowledge here. So let's see if you can figure out who this Vanagander is.
Yeah, and I have a move as a bounty hunter called the Hunter. Name someone who you want to find. I don't think I want to find them yet, right? So that probably doesn't apply. It's just spout lore.
Okay.
All right, so figure it out. Plus intelligence. My intelligence is a whopping 1. You love to see it.
I do love to see this.
All right, let's see what we got. A 10. Oh,
wow.
Vanagander?
Okay, Vanagander. On a 10 plus, the GM will tell you something interesting and useful about the topic at hand. Vanagander is a human, as the picture pops up of him. Let me. I don't have an easy access to it, so I'll just show you in the keeper that it existed in. Give me just a moment. Oh yeah, I got a nice. I was able to blow it up. Here we go. So, Hollow picks up of a man with a scar upon his face, Vanagander. And also, there's a picture of Aradataki, who he travels with. Vanagander is in the notes that you have, because you got a 10 plus, is that he was considered force sensitive. I steal from West End Games because that term just amuses me to no end. And that he often takes kill bounties on people. So the fact that he has taken this bounty may be a favor for someone or some other motivation, because it is unexpected.
Yeah, that's
to feel like enough info for a kill bound for I'm sorry
Definitely.
for a 10 plus. Okay.
definitely feels like enough. I was going to say then, did I know? I know who he is, who he travels with. Do I know? Does he have a ship, or is he like me, just kind of bounces around ship to ship?
Oh, that's a great question. Does he have a ship? He does indeed have a ship. The ship is known as, it's got, oh, yay, Cisco's here. He does indeed have a ship. The ship is known as the Raptor.
Of course. Sadie, can you just go ahead and keep an ear out for any pings of the Raptor entering the system? As far as I know, we haven't seen Van anytime since we've got the princess off the planet. And I suppose maybe one of the pirates got away, might have mentioned it, but I don't think so. So just keep an ear out to see if they pass by and let me know. Because again, I will be at very important drinks. And I'm going to be making some critical deals for us, Sadie, that are really going to raise us up in the echelons here.
Excellent, of course. Thank you very much, Master Master Kengrave.
Captain Master Kengrave, that's right.
Yes, Master Kengrave. Thank you. And with that, she will end the. We still haven't determined if she that's a call, because she's either not on the ship or on the ship and you're not on the ship. Either way, she's not physically present. Hello, Cisco.
Hey, fellas, what's up?
Hey, man. So we're gonna throw you into the scene with Cause Kingrave. He is currently dressed to the nines, expecting to be invited to the dinner party that Princess Tierlapath and Tassa Bray have already gone to. That dinner party that Mr. Sakamori and his niece, Rika, your ex, are attending. And for some reason, you also did not receive an invite to said party. So you and Cause are left out.
Can I also say that I'm dressed up?
Sure, you could totally be dressed up. Although it turns out that some of your robes are missing from the ship, your more formal, stately robes. Someone seems to have taken and had them altered to fit them. But I'm sure that's not a problem.
Oh no. I think we might have an awful case then where, oh man, okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm frantically looking for my clothes to get dressed up then.
Well, good.
It's so weird that you had formal robes from my home planet on your ship.
That's hilarious. That this plot seems to have more parts show up. Like the secret of ours. I love it. I think I'm gonna involve Rosie if she isn't already trying to find these formal clothes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Rosie is. I'm not gonna do the pop to the voice mod, but I have looked everywhere. I cannot find it anywhere. Sin.
I love
Would she
it.
call you Sin or Cincinnati or
Mhm.
Captain? Just Cap. Captain.
I
I don't know.
think
What do you think?
I think I have like modulated her voice because it's not in her like vocabulary to be like CAP''N. So I think it sounds like her voice and then like another inserted voice in like Captain.
Sweet. Yeah. So you come in right after Cos Kingrove ends his call with his assistant.
Have you
Sorry,
have you
Cincinnati.
have you seen my oh, you look nice. Out of character,
Thank you. I expected a call, but
out of character,
not
is
for
he
us.
wearing my robes?
No.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, I'm not. No.
Okay, well you're ready to go for dinner. What time is this thing anyway?
Well, the dinner you'll never believe this. The dinner's already happening. I didn't get
Surely
an
not.
invite. Not me. Tirla and Tassa, they both got invites. We didn't. So obviously, I think that means, it's one of those, hey, let's get to know each other kind of dinners. And when they want to talk business, it'll be like every business meeting I've ever had. It'll be over drinks and it'll come after. I'm expecting they'll give us a call after. So I'm ready. Are you ready? What is this? Covered in oil. What are you?
Well, Rosie, you want to help out with that? Can we have her like extend an arm with like some sort of cloth that I can like?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm like,
now, just so we're clear, so Rosie isn't fixing the ship because you guys are currently on the station in the really nice suite.
oh,
So do you want Rosie to be here or do you want there to just be a protocol droid who hands you a nice cloth?
Does Cincinnati
Yeah,
call
yeah, yeah.
all protocol droids Rosie?
That sounds amazing to me.
No, I'm okay with there being a separate protocol droid. That maybe we have wired to be able to talk to Rosie through this protocol droid. Can we say
Yeah,
that?
sure. That
Yeah,
sounds
that's awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, that sounds cool. All right, let's do that. Yeah. So, listen, I sent Rosie to look for my robes. I looked for them here. They're not anywhere, but I have a feeling that this was probably a misunderstanding, and I think that we should. It's got to be a misunderstanding. So I think that we should just be assertive, and we should just go to this thing.
Oh,
At whatever means
interesting.
necessary. Yeah.
Well, I was just telling my girl she needed to be more assertive. I think you might be onto something, Sin. I think you're onto something. You can't go looking like that. So we need to solve that problem first.
Okay. What options do I? Okay, protocol droid. Give me what you've got. What is your best Arxian outfit here for a fancy dinner?
It appears, according to our database, that they prefer tight-fitting clothing.
The opposite of the robes from Sin's home planet. Sounds good. If this doesn't break tone too much, Rich, could we have a short wardrobe montage here? Because I do love me a good montage.
Let's do a wardrobe montage. Then we'll probably break for our mid-game bio break at that point. But let's do a wardrobe montage. I'm into this. How does this go?
Okay, I think the first I think the first bit, we see like Sin holding up something that the protocol droid has brought, and it looks like small and tight fitting, and the droid is like, and then he grabs a second one, and the
Like a
droid's
crop
still
top,
like,
I think, like a crop top kind of
oh
clingy thing.
no, oh
Yeah.
It's a crop top.
no.
It's a crop top, super tight, and then super tight capris, right? It's like
Nice, yeah.
maybe not even.
It's called
capris,
the
maybe it's-
Amidala.
Yeah, it's. Do you want capris or do you want like thigh high, like or like just above the knee, like biker shorts? And it's like orange. It's bright orange.
Okay, we're gonna go with the
Ow.
capris, because at least that in our world, at least that still looks maybe mildly European. Maybe, I don't know. I'm an ignorant American. I wouldn't know. So yeah, so we're gonna go with capris and something really really tight. And then I think the third part of the montage, like you see me like trying to like get into my duster, my trench coat, and the protocol droid is like, no duster, no trench coat. That's not how we do this here. And then Cody, wouldn't you help me out with Cause bringing in different accessories? What
Yeah,
is the proper accessory here?
Yeah, well, obviously, I think it's got to be, if everything's tight, it's about you don't have things that dangle, right? You have something that adheres tight. So maybe it's like a big belt, with an intricate design on the buckle. Maybe it's some sort of goggle. The thing is, I think what we've stumbled into is that you're going to show up to this very fashionably, and I'm going to show up to this very like what is it, like black tie, right? So it's like, oh, you're fashionable, but this is we're bringing in two very different vibes.
Okay.
A little couture and a little
yeah.
I like
That's
that.
okay. I feel like Sin and Cause kind of have that chemistry anyway.
Yeah,
where we're just a yin and yang in different ways. Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
I like this. And I think I'm also like during the montage talking to the droid about what like Kira likes these days, or Rika likes these days, excuse me. Like that's very important to me.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
think that I want to see if that has a let's get that to a roll, I guess.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
And also, Cody, I like your idea of the big belt to match the tight clothing.
I think totally having some like Zoolander thoughts in my head for Cincinnati here. It's good.
Yeah, I really hope this doesn't break down, but I'm gonna keep writing this until you guys say stop. So we're rolling.
Ooh,
Okay.
Fifth Element vibes. Yes, for real.
Yes, I think that's more apropos. Yes.
Corbin Dallas.
Yes.
Okay. I think
Can I get-
you're gonna need to figure it out, aka spout lore. So roll plus int. You're
That's good.
consulting accumulated knowledge, trying to figure out what Rika has been into lately.
Yeah, and then I guess that would make sense too. I'm trying to recollect my knowledge of what she has been into in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to. I don't have that link to the roller at hand.
Oh, let me share that in the. There we go.
And the character keeper real quick, or if somebody can tell
And-
me what my int is real quick.
You're into 0.
That
Flat.
says par for the course. I'm legit shocked it's not like in the negatives. So, all right. Let's. This is a 6 minus, and I'm not gonna use my luck. I feel like it's appropriate to lean into this. So, what do you got for me, Rich?
Amazing. Okay, so first of all, Mark and XP, congratulations.
thank
Good
you.
job. Second of all, there are a couple of articles on the station newsletter about Rika Salmian, and it's all puff pieces about her success on Woth as a politician and her arrival on Neffel Station to assist her uncle in the proper guardianship over the Council of Arcs. And there's several like very smart business attire pictures of her in these puff pieces, and it just looks like she's here at her uncle's behest to really improve the relations between the different species here, leveraging all of the successes she had with Wolf. Yeah. So, and she's dressing mostly business, very pantsuits. There's a picture of her in like a pantsuit, not much makeup, very get things done kind of approach in these puff pieces. Yeah.
Okay. The way that I maybe then lean into this as a not success maybe is that I bring this up to her next time I see her. Like how lovely she looked in all the pictures I've seen.
And there's a little,
backfires.
you find like a little gossip rag thing about she's the most eligible woman on the station, and who's she dating?
Oh
kind of thing.
no. Okay, I'd like to
Yeah.
mark a debility for that. Is that okay? I think that makes me
Okay.
feel really insecure.
This
This
is
is a
amazing.
mask. This is a mask, so I can't click off insecure. But let's see what we got.
Actually, if you hover over, there are hover-overs for each of the debilities, and there's confused and
Okay.
scarred.
There is scarred, like this has emotionally scarred. Oh, stunned would be a good one. Shaken, but that's physically shaken. I think this is gonna mess with my mind. So I think taking a hit to int makes sense.
Stunned. Awesome.
Okay, yeah.
When you have a debility,
okay.
that means you roll with disability with that. Roll with disadvantage. Sorry.
Disadvantage. Okay.
Yep. But when you make camp, you can try to address that and get things handled. But yeah, that's what you get about Rika Somyan and her time here on Neville Station.
Cool.
Sweet.
And I'd like I'm hoping that we can somehow have like a break-in, and definitely I think the tone is like like breaking into the party, yeah. And then definitely like a black screen. If this wasn't Star Wars, there would be a black screen, and in white letters it would be like cause and sin break into the party with like whimsical music.
We're going to get a course of the meal before a break-in, but before even that, we're going to take our big game bio break. So let's take 10. Okay, so we had just cut away from Coskin Grave and Cincinnati Soul Run, trying to force their way into this dinner party. We cut to the aforementioned dinner party, and we see that there are new plates of food. Evidently, the group seems to be finishing up the first course of this meal. There are nearly empty bowls of yob shrimp salad. Yob shrimp hail is a not crustacean. Yeah, I guess crustacean from the planet of Naboo. That you are the chef, who is a Monkal. She came out and described to you the yob shrimp salad, and also let you know that most of the courses will be featured food imported from Naboo. And she gives you a little background info that she studied with a Gungan chef of great renown, and she's very proud of the yob shrimp noodle salad that she has created based off of some of the Gungans' other delectable courses that she has created over the many years that they studied together. And now your servant, the beautiful Nabana, the Twi'lek who we had seen before, comes out with bowls of soup, and it is topato. Topato soup is a greenish color, and it looks. Of course, it's green. It's has a garnish. The screen is very monochromatic in the ways that people enjoy making particular hoity-toity foods. This one has kind of a garlic and onion taste to it. There is a little hint of some meaty broth that is used to in the condensation of creation of this soup. I'm curious, Tila, you have a flawless measure of how to eat at a formal meal. Are you going full Riven manners, or is this more of a relaxed approach that you have?
I don't understand what you mean by relaxed approach to a meal.
Are you when Rika seems very casual about she uses the wrong spoon. She uses the cake spoon instead of the soup spoon. Do you let it pass?
Oh,
Do you
I'm not going to
say?
No. I'm absolutely not going to say anything. That would be terribly rude. That would breach protocol. I just make sure that I'm using the correct utensils, and I'll probably I think I like stage whisper to Tossa that, oh, now you use this spoon, and I kind of gesture, and so I'm definitely putting the putting down the person who's doing it wrong, but I'm not saying anything about it. That would be
Oh,
terrible.
that's very, very clever. I like that. I like that. Awesome. We had just before we went to break, there was or right as we went to break, there's a suggestion that we'll enter into the celebrate move, and I want to set that up. But I do want to get from Tasa Bray, you're getting advice from Princess Path on here's the right utensil. Are you following that? I know you wanted to not attract a great deal of notice, and it seems like some's being thrown your way, even though it's an indirect bit towards Rika. How are you handling that?
So I think it's obvious to those who are more formal or those who are paying attention that I'm a little bit ill at ease. This isn't what I'm used to, but I'm absolutely following any advice. I'm trying to copy the others. So I wait a little while before I eat my food. I make sure that, whenever the princess says use this spoon, I'm like, oh, okay. And I make sure I'm following everybody else's lead. Um, do you have an idea about how to make the move, or
Let's take a look at our celebrate move. So celebrate, aka carouse.
I have a suggestion if
Yeah,
you don't have a
let's
plan.
hear. I don't.
Okay, so great. I think I'm going to go back. So go ahead and read off what you were going to say about the celebrate move.
Yeah, so it's the carouse move from Dungeon World. When you return triumphant and throw a big party, you spend some credits and roll extra hundreds of credits spent in order to get things like befriending, hearing rumors, gaining useful information, and trying to avoid being entangled, beguiled, or tricked. Now, we may want to wait on Celebrate until after Cause and Cincinnati interject themselves, but I definitely want to set it up.
I was going to pull them in, so I think what I'll do is
perfect.
After the soup dish comes out, I think I help, what's her name? The NPC. I help Nabana pick up the dishes, and I go back to the kitchen with her. And once we're back in the kitchen, I communicate a little bit with her through the Twi'lek sign language thing. And I think she lets me know that it is traditional, it is expected to present presents before the dessert course.
Oh shit.
So I'm going to get on the horn, I'm going to get on the communicator to Cause, and I'm going to say, okay, this is expected. We need to spend some money.
What?
Can you show up here at the dinner with something of about X cost? And whatever you decide to spend, Cause, will be what the carouse roll will be rolled with. How about that?
Interesting.
And that gets both of you in. How badly do you want to show up?
It's just it's very convenient, of course, that you call Cause to spend the credits, because I'm checking here our bank accounts, and 0, 0, 0. Oh, here's Cause 5. Oh, okay, cool. Interesting. Yeah, I'm down. That's wild. Let's do it. So I think Cause getting this call really quickly is going to turn to Sin. Apparently, we need to buy a gift. This is something I would have Sadie do. We need to do this fast. Do you know who's we're buying a gift for? What kind of thing do they like?
So the host would be
Mr. Sakamori.
Oh,
Mr.
okay. I was hoping
Sakamori.
it was the person that he failed on what they like.
I know what they
God, that
like.
would be so perfect. You do.
I saw a shop on the way here that sold Mon Calamari dessert brandy, and that is very traditional. And I think that might help us also loosen some tongues
And
see if we
before
can't
dessert,
here.
it's a drink. I love it. This is great, and I'm sure it costs between 1 to 3 creds.
Cool. I realized now that there is a definite divide between the abstracted creds and the move that we just read, as well as the gear, which all seem to be 100, like a lot more creds.
Yeah.
So I need to do a little bit of work there. We'll say it's basically 5 creds are. Do you guys think it's 5 creds is 500 creds?
That would have been my first guess, but that's without having looked at any like comparison and stuff. Like,
let's just for now call it 500 creds.
Cool.
And I'm gonna give like 50 creds to everybody else, which is effectively 0. I mean, come on, Princess Beth, you gotta have some money.
Well, she
Just
doesn't carry it on her, is the thing.
Yeah, she's got it, but she's not exactly liquid at the moment. So
yeah, that's the problem. Okay, a personal feast that's ostentatious. It for one person is 100 credits. So yeah, I'd say it's 300 for like a really nice, dessert brand Mon Calamari dessert brandy. So I'll spend 3 creds on that. Yeah, 300.
Okay, so spending 3 creds gives you a +2 on the celebrate roll. We'll queue that up, but let's have you arrive before we do that. I'm gonna get one more meal or one more
So I'm going to
course
come back
popped out.
Yeah. I'm going to come back out for the kitchen.
I definitely
Yeah.
wanted to have a
So
moment
I come back
there
out with the
in
kitchen.
too.
I think you said, did you want to do something in the kitchen?
I had forgotten that Rika ordered bread, so there's 5 blossom bread, also from it's delicious. It's from Naboo. It's quite tasty and very sweet. That is we'll say that Nabana takes that out, rushes that out to make sure, because Rika reminded her after the Tapato suit came out. But yeah, you can come out. We'll say that Nabana she's not going to talk directly to you, but she will say, please be very careful.
Do I have something that could? I could do a discern realities to see how she's feeling.
If you want to.
No, I think she's been helpful enough. I have no suspicion. I think that, I'll pat her on the shoulder or on the arm and be like, you be careful too. And, let us know if there's anything, any kind of help that you need. I'm not used to these kind of places and I appreciate your advice. You've been indispensable. And I'm going to step back out and I'll lean over and I'm going to tell Tirla, like in the stage whisper, about what just transpired. I'm like, I just found out there's a tradition of presents and, around the dessert time, and I put in a call to cause, and I think they're going to show up with with something. I don't know if it'll be okay or not, and, but it'll be something, it'll be better than empty-handed. And I'm sorry I didn't know this before.
You asked Cos to do this?
Well, it's not like either of us could leave. And, I thought Cos would be able to get something nice.
Well, he has the money, but I'm not sure he has the sense. But, well,
Surely
just hope.
he'll ask Cincinnati to go with him. I mean,
Uh, Not sure if that's much better in this case. I mean, if we wanted to fly a shuttle out of here, then Sin is your guy. But for presents, well,
Come on. You should have
I'll
more
try
faith in this.
to. I'll just think of something if this doesn't turn out the way we hope.
Dishes of glow blue noodles are brought out to each of you. There's a picture in the dining party tab, and Mr. Sakamori, as people start to dig in, he waits for a few moments to pass, and he says, "Princess Path, I am curious. What is something you like to do for fun in Riven? I understand that it's a mountainous area."
Oh, flying has always been my greatest passion. On the
How
and
is
I'm
it that you fly? On a ship? A speeder?
Oh no, of course not. And she starts describing how they breed the I forgotten the name of the
Rooping?
rooping. Yeah. No. Rooping breeding is an ancient tradition on my planet, and she starts going into great detail describing how the various breeds they have and their temperaments and
Rika pulls out a small data pad. She's totally like not into this at all. She's just scanning some feed on the ship newsletter. But Mr. Sakamori, very interested. He's asking questions, and he's, that sounds fascinating. I would imagine that a Ruping would be able to fly here, at least around Neffel Station, not deeper into the supergiant of arcs, but if you choose to stay here at Neffel Station, perhaps we could even look to sing about a Ruping import here. I'm sure we could get our hands on one.
Ooh,
So
I'm trying to think of a way to like agree that yes, that would be. She says something that says yes, that would be nice, but she's not saying I'm going to stay here. It's like very, very neutral on that topic.
that sounds awesome. It's definitely anything you can pull off. But I think even without a roll, you're picking up what he's putting down, which is he is inviting you to stay at Neffel Station. He wants an extended stay. This is having royalty here is definitely a good look for the Council of Arcs for whatever reason. And I think this is probably when the Glow Blue Noodles course is happening, when Cause Kingrave in Cincinnati. There's I think one of the Space Patrol people are standing outside. How have you talked your way past? You just brushed past? How did you get past them?
I have an idea. If you remember a previous wish of mine, I said that if it's okay with you, I wanted to pretend that I was a named character. I really want to roll this move where I pretend to be someone else.
I want you to do that.
Sweet. The way I picture it in my mind is we're stopped at the door. They demand invitations. We don't have them. I turn to Cause. He says, "Follow my lead." And I say, "Hello, what have we here?" And I'm gonna pretend that I'm someone I'm not. So this roll plus cha, and let's see what happens. Okay, I rolled a 6. I'm gonna use my luck point.
Which move are you engaging, by the way?
I am engaging con artist.
Okay, cool. So, all right.
Is it con artist?
Well, con artist is selling a useless item, talking your way out of trouble. So I think that fits.
Or convince someone you're more powerful than you truly are.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought there was another one. No, I guess not. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, it fits. Okay, let's re-roll. I'm gonna take a luck point off. I really want to be in this party. Let's see what happens. Okay, I rolled a 12. Sweet.
There you go. That's what luck's for.
Sweet.
Oh man, they'll say, "Oh, the owner of Cloud City here," because I'm imagining that you are going that route of being General Lando Calrissian.
Indeed. I
That's
say,
amazing.
well, we don't need to drop names here, but while we are, yes, I am. I demand you let me in.
Oh, of course they. Just a moment. Let me make sure that Mr. Sakamori is aware of your austere presence, Mr. Calrissian.
You don't want to ruin the surprise, do you?
Nice. You push on that, and the patrolman just realizes, oh wait, I can't be rude to these important individuals, and so the doors are opened, and you see this. And I'm mostly showing this because I don't think Cisco got to see it. This intimate but beautiful
Ooh.
dining table, which is not taken from Galaxy's Edge. It's probably the one thing that's not taken from Galaxy's Edge in today's session. This game's sponsored by Galaxy's Edge.
I was gonna say my background's from Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, it is.
Is it for real? I didn't even. Oh,
It
that's
is.
hilarious.
Look at
Oh,
look at
that's
look at look at
The X-wing outside of the Rise of Resistance ride, I think.
Indeed, indeed.
so jealous. I really want to go there someday.
Rich, when you're in Florida, you know I'm in Jacksonville, my dude.
I know, man. And my son still has good buddies in Jacksonville, but that's not this game. He desperately wants to go back to Jacksonville to
Aw.
visit. So, it may happen this summer. We'll see. So they enter Tassa Bray. You get a weird feeling just before the doors open. A presence you haven't felt since. Oh wait, it's just Sin.
I think what we see on screen is I look kind of panicked back towards the door, like I don't know what's going to come through, and then I see Sin kind of swagger through the door, and I'm like, relieved. I think I'm going to stand up and I'm going to go. I'm going to go greet the two of them. And I think, and I'm like, thank you so much for saving us. I had no idea. The princess had no idea. Maybe she should have. But I think whenever we step up, I'm then going to, because it's probably not the princess's place, I'm going to make the introductions here to the others sitting at the table and apologize for their late, for them coming late. They had to go on a very important scouting montage, a very, very important task. Yes.
And Sakamori's smooth, man. He says, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I was afraid that you wouldn't be able to make it." And he totally didn't invite you, but he's just playing it off.
Smooth.
Rika looks up. Oh, Brandy. Hey, you can come.
Kaz will hand the brandy over to Tassa, since Tassa seems to be acting like a kind of help person. Like, oh yes, come, welcome who it is.
Yeah.
He'll hand it off to Tassa to divvy out.
And I'm gonna actually lean over and show it to the princess. Sort of like, you present it, maybe even pull out the cork and let her, can she, is this acceptable? Pour a little bit and all of that, see if it works, and then
Oh, sniffing the cork is so cute. Sorry. I probably shouldn't have got quiet. And Sakamori is very interested in this power play here. I love this.
Wait, Sakamori is interested in the power play.
This whole power play that Tassa Bray and Tir Path is going on. It's interesting to him. Yeah.
Okay. So we've been introduced, and we are we are at the table?
Real quick, we weren't introduced by name though, right? Are we still playing off that you're Lando Calrissian?
I was gonna say, if this is a high-end party, can we have people at the door announcing those who come in? Like, that just seems like protocol.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll step
But
up.
well, hold on. How does Tasa know that he's lying about who he is?
Oh, I don't. I step up
Oh, okay.
and I'm like, "Thank you so much." And that whole exchange goes on, and then I turn around to introduce you, and I introduce Cos Kengrave unless you interrupt me.
Nope, you introduced me. That's fine.
And then once I go to introduce Cincinnati,
As soon as I hear this, I say Lando Calrissian, General Lando Calrissian.
and I think that's whenever I step aside and kind of step out of the way, and I'm like, wide-eyed. The camera kind of sees me, and I'm like,
disaster averted, perhaps.
exactly.
Please, I'd rather be known by my business acumen than my war titles. I'm slipping into Christopher Walken, so I'm just gonna drop.
It's
the
great.
accent.
I think Rika, of course, knows who you are.
Right.
But she realizes this and thinks it's hilarious that her uncle Lando Calrissian of Bespin. Oh, and he gets up and he comes over and he offers you a hand. Please, come here. Sit by my right hand side, please. And there was one seat that was left empty, which means there's no seat for you, Cos Kingrave. And Commander Isers stands up and she says, "Please, I have some duties to attend to. Mr. Kingrave, a hero for helping to save Neffel Station. Take my seat."
Oh, thank you. Don't mind if I do. Is that brandy coming around?
And Nabana, the Twillick, will start bringing the brandy around. I imagine it's like it's fluty and big, slightly presentational, and she's picks the exact right glass that you notice, Tearlapath. And Rika, as soon as it's in, she just washes it down, puts the glass back down so that she can get a second helping after Nabana has moved all the way around. And that's when the final course is brought out for everyone, the Tapasi Keodeo, which is these beautiful little strips of bindi chewable confectionery.
That's great. I will make sure that I compliment the food and indeed the entire party. And
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to queue up Cause you spent the creds. You get to roll the move. Please roll celebrate.
Oh, yes.
As things progress forward.
All right. So I spend 100 credits and roll plus extra. Okay, so
you're rolling 2d6 plus 2.
2d6 plus 2. 2d6 plus
Unless someone gives you advice. Then you can roll with advantage.
I don't think
someone gives advice
because he's already bought the gift and that sort of thing. I'm going to let him handle it. This is on his side.
Perfect.
And I got a 10. Obviously, didn't need any help. I know exactly how to carouse.
On a 10 plus, you get to choose 3 options here.
All right. And I'm the one who gets to choose them. How fun. You guys are in for a treat. I think we befriend a useful NPC. Obviously. Yes. We hear rumors of an opportunity. Need a job. Kaz is always sniffing it out. And what's that? We gain useful information. But we are, however, entangled, beguiled, or tricked.
Entangled than we already are? We're already knee deep in this lie.
So good. Entangled. Yeah, I think entangled. So entangled, I'll lead with entangled and then I'll shift to opportunity. So you got opportunity,
useful NPC,
entangled,
and useful
NPC.
information.
Yeah, I think useful NPC is Commander Isers. She's military, but she seems personable enough to where she saw what you guys did. You went out of your way. She considers you guys friends of the station and the space patrol. So if you're okay with that, that's your useful NPC.
Love it.
And Commander Isers is not the one who left. She's still at the table.
She's the person who got up and gave her seat to Kim.
Oh, okay. But she's
So maybe
still
she
in the...
like stuck around. Maybe
Okay.
Nabana brought another chair so that move makes sense. Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
And then the entangled. I think Cincinnati. Rika just buys in hard to you being Lando Calrissian, and Sagamori broaches some like partnerships between Bespin and
Yes.
Neffel Station that you get a little entangled into. Maybe you overcommit, maybe you say a few things that he misinterprets, but the expectation is that now Bespin and Neffel Station are like sister ships or sister stations that are going to be trading secrets back and forth on fuel refinement and how to handle class gas giants and the like. So,
Cool.
so
I was
that's
gonna
how
say-
you're entangled.
I was going to say they're both gas giants. Do they also mine gas on this planet?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
The gas supergiant here, that's their main industry in Neffel Station is gas refinement. And yeah, so they definitely have a lot in common.
Let's add to that as well that like by the end of the night, we've also made deals to like trade machinery and like refinement, you know.
Yeah, which of course
equipment.
you can't do.
Yeah, I can't follow through on that. Or maybe I can. Who knows? There's
Who
always that
knows?
plug.
There's always a possibility. Also, if you guys are at all curious about ARCs, I do have an ARCs tab that has planet info. Not that it matters, but you know, I always loved it about Westing Games D6, so that's the thing that I wanted to stick in here because it makes me happy. Here is the opportunity that you hear about. Party goes on for a while. You guys hobnob. The brandy flows. Some more drinks are brought out, poured into a different kind of glass, oddly enough, because these are whites. And Tierla's the only one who realizes that, yeah, it's got to be the right way. And
A right vessel for a right drink. Hello.
There is your useful NPC, your friendly Commander Isers. She mentions that the pirates who everyone drove off, that she is gathering a group of individuals to go to Arxis A, which is one of the moons of the gas supergiant. It's in this system because she has a suspicion about a decommissioned space station. She believes the last members of this pirate group could be found there, and she wants to stamp her heel to take them out. And because you've done that before, she's not asking you because you're at a party, but she's letting you know about that opportunity to go hunt the last of the pirates who probably all have bounties on them.
I'm gonna make eye contact with Kaz and see if we're on the same page. Like, yes. Okay, cool.
Say no more. It's incredibly interesting. I'd love to speak more about your plans, the date you're gonna go on this adventure, what kind of crew you're bringing, all of these details. My gal should know, and I'd like to fill these things out, but that's neither here nor there. But yes, I'm interested.
But not without the correct firepower. Perhaps,
of course.
I'm gonna start hinting that we need upgrades to the ship. Perhaps,
if I didn't have to spend 300 credits on the line.
Please.
Oh, by the way, that brandy's gone. You guys drank all of it. None of that's coming home with you.
Sweet. That's perfect.
Yeah,
because of course we should not speak of money at the table, but
inappropriate,
while we're here,
Lando.
Oh, of course. But while we're here, we are all businessmen after all. Perhaps you could help us because we will be helping you with this pirate problem.
Oh, I think you should probably parlay for a little bit of that.
I think I should
Negotiate.
Let's roll plus char.
Luckily, you're not scarred.
Luckily, I'm not scarred. Only in the meow meows, not physically. Okay. I rolled an 8.
All right. In negotiate, aka parlay, on a 7 to 9, they reveal something you can do to convince them that will likely be costly, tricky, or distasteful. Let's see. Yeah, I think Commander Eisers will say, I'm surprised to hear that you're cash strapped. My understanding is that there were a significant number of bounties that you have found or collected. What I can do is I can make sure that there are a team of engineers who will help at no cost to you install whatever it is that you can purchase with the bounties that you've collected. So that's our mixed success. She's cutting off significant, like a team of engineers to install this stuff because she reveals that they have the pirates on the run. They don't want them to pull up stakes and get out, so they want to move quickly. She's offering you a free team of engineers to do the install at the earliest opportunities so that you can utilize it, but then any upgrade you've got to purchase because, as she says, we want Temple Station to profit as well as you profit. So is that fair? Does it seem like a fair mixed success? Cool.
Do we?
Rich will provide you some bounties, cash credits before we go to that point.
Sure. And I was I was also wondering, was there cost associated with buying stuff for the ship? I mean, there has to be, but I just wasn't sure if it was listed somewhere that we hadn't seen. Or...
I thought I had moved such a thing over, but now that I'm looking, I don't see it there. Here's what I'd like to say. Let's have you guys, first of all, I think half of the bounties that you got, you used to repair, life support, navigation, hyperdrive, and auxiliary engines. But if you want to pick one extra system as part of the rewards for what you've done, also because I'm interested in seeing it as well. And then you can shift numbers around because now you've got an 11th thing. So if you wanted to shift your 9 and 10 somewhere, but the original 8 will stay in those systems. Does that make sense?
So would that mean then that since we have 11 systems, one of those is never like randomly rolled?
Isn't at risk. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not going to get randomly damaged.
Got it. Okay.
One of your extra systems. That said, you also could choose to get a second weapon instead, which means that you'd have 2 things that could be disabled as a weapon.
We can hash out the finer details of that later. Surely we should enjoy the desserts. This is wonderful. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Nice. Hey, Cincinnati, as she is getting very drunk, Rika starts hitting on Cause. How do you deal with that?
Oh, man.
I'm not even sure how Cause is going to deal with that, but I'm really curious how you deal with that.
Why don't we let the dice decide?
Okay.
Is that okay? I think this is a dangerous enough situation that maybe I roll plus int for quick thinking, or maybe something else.
Well, that would be rolling with disadvantage.
I mean, I think maybe Tirla sense. You know, I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna be like,
no, what? I don't think you get to tell Tirla what she senses, man.
No. That's why I'm gonna set this into fiction.
Okay.
I'm at the table with Tirla, so maybe Tirla watches me turn and be like, "What in the?" And then I'll roll, and then I'm just opening it up to Andesh if you want to say something or not. Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
I was going to try to work in to give you advice here. But I don't think I can, because that moves requires me to speak openly and tell you what to do, and I don't think I can do that in this situation.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Perfect.
Does
you
Tasa
you
have
You
one
still
of
could
those?
do aid just without the free
Yeah,
win,
that's
right?
true. That's true. I
That's
can do
true.
regular aid. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. And Tasa too. Tasa's at the table. I don't know if you
And
have a force thing where you can calm down animals or something.
I was gonna say,
Like Ezra Bridger.
I love that Tirla, the princess, so far has been doing stage whispers back and forth to make sure we don't make any mistakes. So that fits really well. But I do have an idea of how to introduce a mixed, a potential failure source if there's any kind of issue. So yeah,
Cool.
go ahead.
So I think Tirla, she notices this very obvious flirtation, if unless it's like going past that at the table, and she's
Yeah, I think you notice it after Rika's removed her shoe and run it up Cause's shin, and after all of that happens. I don't know how Cause has reacted yet, but you notice this. Go ahead.
So I'm engaging Sin and as Lando, of course, and Mr. Sakamura in conversation, and trying to keep discussing this business deal about the exchange of equipment and processing and that sort of thing, all the while trying to like put emphasis on certain words to make Cincinnati understand that he has to stay out of whatever is going on at the other side of the table. He has to focus on this here and keep going with this charade that is Lando. So it's like, yes, you really have to commit to this deal now that we're so deep in it, and that sort of thing. Except perhaps a bit more subtle, because she's better at that sort of thing than I am.
Nice. Let's see how this
I'm trying to
goes.
aid. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, you roll plus your bond.
Oh, I
that
rolled
you
plus
have.
my bond, so it's +1. Yeah,
Yep.
cool. Then I don't need to worry about that. And I get an 11. I'm amazing at this.
You are so good at this. That allows you to roll with advantage, Cincinnati, as you realize Cause. And just to so now we know how to react to it. Cause, how are you handling Rika Samian, who's a very beautiful lady?
Yeah, I think Cause. I don't think Cause has any knowledge of this history between Sin and Rika. So he's just thinking, hey, this dinner, it's drinks and more. This is great. This is going well for Cause. It's been a while for Cause since he's had any other human contact other than this crew, and certainly a while since it's had the time or place to be a little flirtatious. So I think he's hamming it up. I think he's being he's given as much as he's given or giving and getting.
Nice.
But don't make me roll for that, because you already said that it's going great.
It happens. It's going great.
Awesome. So
I think your mic changed, Cisco.
Nope, you're listening to my thoughts.
There we
That's
go.
what it is. Okay. Am I to understand then that the disadvantage and the advantage then cancel each other out?
Correct. So you're just rolling flat.
All right.
Thank you for asking for clarification.
My pleasure. And I'm rolling flat because I have no int.
Literal flat. So it's
modifier.
just 2d6 and nothing more.
Okay. We rolled a 6. So I'd like to pull the table. I know, it's so good. I'd like to pull the table. Or no, I don't want to pull the table. I'm Rich, I'm gonna throw something at you as to how this could go bad, and then you do whatever.
Sure. What's your suggestion? I have ideas. But I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are.
Okay.
The classes are still standing. That's great.
I mean, yeah. So in Riven, such a show of disrespect, at least the way it looks to Sin, would be met with a duel.
So a duel with cause? That is what you're...
I think in the heat of my passion, I do the traditional Riven duel challenge.
All right. I'm not going to say you can't do that, but something's going to happen just before the ban. That's amazing. It's my favorite typo of the game.
Oh my gosh.
So the flirting is going on. Mr. Sakamori seems like unaware of it or uncaring. Perhaps his niece causes problems that he ignores often. But there's a point when the libation is flowing. You guys are celebrating. Mr. Sakamori says to you, Princess Path, he says, Princess, may I call you Tirla? I think it's so very interesting that you allow one of your slaves to dine with you in such a fashion. And he gestures to Tassa Bray. It's not
Oof.
how we do things here, but I am cultured enough to accept it. And she has been good entertainment for us. Bravo.
Oof. I'm afraid I can't take any credit for Mr. Spray's entertainment value, as she is.
Does she dance? I would love it if she would dance for us.
As she is her own woman.
Of course you could dance, but it doesn't appear that you dress to dance, but I'm sure that you could.
Tirla is not going to stand for this.
Snaps his fingers.
I'm just trying to figure out how to. Mr. Sakamura, you are treating my friend and associate like an underling. This is most inappropriate.
And Rich now reminds you that Tassa Bray has spent this entire dinner acting like an underling.
Yeah.
Which, totally cool. What you're saying, I'm not invalidating it.
No.
This is how Tila sees things. I just want everyone to realize Sakamori is not completely out of his mind here. But he says, oh, well, you're welcome to that opinion. And on Neville Station, she's as free as you want her to be.
Oh.
And then Rika snickers. Like she knew this was coming.
I'm sorry. Are you laughing because you think she is a slave or because you think your uncle's rude? This is just between us, obviously.
She leans over and she goes, can't both be true? Let's get out of here.
No, hold on. I don't know about that. That's uncool.
What? She paid for her freedom? That's great. Good job. Or Tila paid for her. That's fine. It's cool.
I guess Kaz doesn't actually know the history of that, of before Tirla. Not necessarily. Of course, he knows that Tassa wasn't ever enslaved to Tirla or enslaved, period, as far as he knows, but he doesn't know the truth of anything. So he's gonna not go further, but he's not gonna agree with her, I guess. He's just gonna kind of lean back a little bit and see what's about to pop off. And maybe his hand drifts to his belt. Who knows? We'll see.
Ooh. The Sakamori he lets it go, right? But then he says, oh, Nabana, play some music. I think some entertainment. My apologies. Seems I've offended you. That was in no way my intent, Princess Path. Different cultures. I'm sure that you have a lot to teach us here. Nabana, can you dance for us, please? And he's like clapping, and she comes out And he says, "Oh, but though, if you could disrobe a little, wearing the servant clothing." And
No.
Enrica's like, "We should go, cuz let's get out of here." And Commander Iser says, "I have an important. I just received a communication. I'll take care of having an engineer team, whatever you." And she's like, she's pulling a fade at this point.
Okay.
I think my eyes are on Tirla and Tossa to see what they want to do. They were the ones who were actually invited to this thing. Kaz knows what Kaz wants to do, but Kaz, you know.
Well, Tirla, I think she's kind of stuck in princess mode, if that makes sense. She's kind of, she finds this intolerable, but also all the options she can see is, how do I like protest?
Doesn't she have a drive to subvert or
Yeah.
defy systems?
Yeah, I know, but it's
Sorry, I've had this hard move nestled in the back of my mind for a little while, so
great,
I'm just
I love
savoring it.
I'm just trying to figure out how she would react to this.
It's as tasty as 5 Blossom bread, I say.
I'm trying to talk this through because I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
sure
fine.
how to
It's all
deal
good.
with it. Because she realizes that if she lashes out here, that's not going to solve anything. I mean, it might make her feel good in the moment, but it's not going to solve the problem. It's going to be terrible for this slave he has. So I think she's going to try to buy the slave girl. It's the only thing I can. That's kind of like playing into subverting the system, maybe.
Oh,
that tracks
so
the way a
it's like
princess would approach it. She's
oh,
like,
that is
"Oh,
a. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, you're right. I did. Well, I will just buy her. I'll buy Nibbana, and then I'll free her. Ha, ha. Oh, that's great. I really enjoy that because it's problematic, and like, hey, it's like, crap. What was the character? Sorry. It's like, so whenever I have a problem, I throw a Molotov cocktail because then all of a sudden I have a new problem.
And
But I want to make
Jason.
clear that if someone else wants to react in a more violent way to this, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Well, I'm ready to react in a violent way, but about something else. But I also don't want to take away from where you're at. I like the problematic situation that we're in.
And I want to give Steven a chance to react to this as well.
Yeah, and I'm torn. I'm like, like, we don't need to fix this problem for one person. We need to fix it for like everybody.
Yeah, obviously, and Tirla, that's kind of what can I do here and now, and then make a plan for how do we fix this later. I think that's how she's reacting.
I think so. I think what Tassa does is she leans over to Tirla, and like they've been whispering together all night. And as Mr. Sakamori is encouraging Nibbana to dance and dress appropriately and all of that, I'm gonna lean forward and be like, you know anything about the rules on this place? Can we like just change them, and can we, is there anything we can do to outlaw slavery here? So actually, that's a spout lore, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
So if you're asking me, then I guess I roll it.
We could
Or
roll
do
that
you
back
want to
so
do it?
I could do it, but I don't know. I think you would probably be better off politically to know what was going on, and
That makes
I
sense.
will assist you because I'm
Yeah.
asking you the question. Yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
an assistance plus bond. So let me roll that. That's a 10.
Oh,
to
ho,
assist.
ho. You guys are the best helpers. Give you little badges. Best helper.
And
Best helper.
oh, actually, I think I already had advantage, but the help is great anyway.
That's fine.
Because I successfully aided before, so
Oh, right. You've been
Yeah.
carrying that for a little bit.
but either way, I have advantage, and this is in, right?
Int, yes.
Yeah, so I have a +1, and I get a 7. I just barely scrape by.
Okay.
How does this-
7 to 9. The GM will tell you something interesting. It's on you to make it useful. And I'm open to, like, if you want to consult a little bit. Here's where I'm thinking the like information is. Arcs is a bit of a collective, and the consensus is we don't want to rock the boat. So Imperial rules, we follow them, because we've had problems with Imperial showing up with slave races, and are we going to be a haven or not? The best way to make political change in arcs is to buy into arcs, like becoming a member of the society gives you a voice.
Oh, that's
and
the worst.
Tassa leans into Tila and says, "You know, with that information, it should be you and not Cincinnati, not Lando." Right? And I think I'm also going to provide the advice, which is, I think we need to make sure that it looks costly to follow the path of slavery. That cost isn't worth what they're getting out of it.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
I think this means, and I think I told the Princess Path, I think this means revolt. And
Yeah.
that's just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, I think as Mr. Sakamura is telling, I keep forgetting her name.
Nabana?
Nabana, yeah. As he is giving her orders, I think I try to guide the conversation into slavery in general, and that I've never understood it doesn't seem worth the cost when there's rebellions and that sort of thing, and trying to bring sin in here. Like, Lando, I think you freed all the Ugnaughts, right, when you took over on Cloud City.
Rika turns to Kaz and like grabs you by the face and like lays one right on you. And it's
Well, Kaz is
feels
distracted, and there's nothing to be done about this. It feels like an obvious ploy, but he's been drinking and he's enjoying it.
Sin is distracted as well. I think on camera we get like slow-mo like speech of Rika being like, "Let's get out of here." And then there's like a superimposed, like 2 superimposed pictures. One, or actually there's a flashback of like Rika telling that to Kaz or to Sin
Oh,
at a previous
ouch.
time, like, yeah, let's get out of here. There is like Kaz's face like laughing, also like spitting, and this is all superimposed with like with Sin. And then when the kiss comes, like, that is it. Sin is going to stand up dramatically and do the Riven thing. There is a protocol droid walking around with a tray. He's gonna grab the cloth that is on the tray. He's gonna like swipe it on the ground, and when Kaz disengages from Rika, and like, and the way I see it in my mind, if it's okay with you, Cody turns around and like whack in the face.
Yeah.
And I want to involve Andesh here. Andesh, what is the traditional weapon for dueling in Riven?
Oh, it's a sword, obviously, because I was doing
Obviously.
sword training before. So
Obviously. So I will just slam it and just say swords. now.
What is this all? Kaz is gonna, after he gets slapped across the face, he's gonna stand up. He's like, "What are you doing?"
I want to
I
introduce you to
believe
fiction.
Lando here has issued a challenge to a duel. Now I think we should make concessions to the fact that we have all had quite a bit of this very lovely brandy to drink, and perhaps tempers are running a little hot, and we should take a step back and reconsider this in the morning when everyone is perhaps a bit more sober.
I love the idea of Tierla talking everyone down in the chaos.
I want to see this duel. So.
Yeah. Same. I think maybe everyone. I think it's like very obvious what happened. I think the way I see it is like the crowd has like reacted. I also want to introduce into the fiction, Cody, if this is okay with you. This has happened before. Cincinnati's, emotions have flared. We've dueled before, and it's like a thing. It's not to the death necessarily. Like everyone else might think it's to the death, but like, and maybe we've even used this. Like the way I see it is like we have maybe like a book of
let's
plays.
do help. Need help?
Yeah. Let's do need help. Yeah, like that. Like, hey, let's do Coruscant. And like Coruscant 77, and like we know that that's a thing that happened before. So so there's that.
Interesting. I almost was like really gearing up for what's gonna have to fall out, because in my mind, Kaz is like, he'll beat you into the dirt. And I kind of like the idea that, and I think no matter what, Kaz feels that right now. The liquor's flowing. You just interrupted a nice moment. So Kaz is like, yeah, you should listen to the lady. I don't want to have to kill you, Lando.
I think Sin, when he hears Lando, he's gonna look around, and that's gonna be like a moment where he's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be Lando. I'm not supposed to be doing Ribbon thing."
Nice,
but now it's too late. Go ahead.
You're all up in it, and then my like little thing that I throw at the end is that cause your earpiece chimes. Master Kengrave, in the interest of leading with the information, the Raptor has arrived on Neffel Station.
Good.
And with that, we'll bring this session to a close. Nice. And maybe we see a like a toss of Bray, like, oh, someone's here who, like, I am. Yeah, I like that. Like a little moment of sweet. When the session ends, each of you please take a look at your drive and point out how you demonstrated or struggled with your drive. So unless if you try to argue that you didn't, I'm going to say, no, you certainly did struggle with it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also think that I am more playing her as being altruistic than a revolutionary. It's more using my connections to influence and help others. I think I'll think about switching for next session.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Cool. Let's go through folks asking about drives. So the two things that are individual are drive and bond, and then there will be the group questions. So I will ask drive and bond of each of you. We start with Cause Kingrave. Did you demonstrate or struggle with your drive today?
Absolutely.
Of money, gain profit from a hunt?
Trying to hustle for that profit. I think so.
Okay. And then did you have a bond that you exemplified or used to motivate to help others?
I think no. The only one I would think is with Cincinnati, that he reminds me of Old Target. And I think this kind of building up at the end, that this is a long-going relationship and it gets heated, maybe, but I don't think so. Because we didn't play that up at all. Okay,
fair. So 1 XP. Toss of Bray, did you demonstrate or struggle with your drive of revealing truth?
Or reveal corruption. A hidden truth.
Try it.
Truth or reveal corruption. The slavery here, I think we're leaning into that. I think that's revealed. And I think so. It's not resolved. We'll resolve that later. but it's revealed. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And then were there any bonds that you exemplified or reflected? Did you take a risk to help someone in a way that reflects your bond with them?
Not that I see. I have down that the princess is woefully misinformed, which I don't think is the case because she helped me during this case. And the other one I have is Sin is always getting into trouble and I have to get them out. And in this case, Sin is getting into trouble, but I haven't gotten him out yet. So yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Well, you did help Tirla at one point and gave some advice, if I remember correctly, and used that to give aid.
You are correct, and I also found out about the tradition of presents. That's right. Okay.
So I think that applies.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Tirla Path, what about your drive, which is currently subverting or defying the system? Did you exemplify it or struggle against?
Definitely struggle with it.
Cool. And then what about bonds?
Yeah, I think I was trying to lean into that Tossa Bray is an uncultured savage, but I will teach them the finer things. I mean, she was so good at this that I didn't get much opportunity, but I was angling for it at least.
I've felt it. I feel like that works for me. I'm okay with it unless someone objects. All right, and then Cincinnati, did you break the law? Defiance? Did you struggle with or?
I mean, we certainly broke the rules if it's not written down that you're not supposed to impersonate people.
Yeah, you impersonated somebody. You broke into a. Yeah, I think you're breaking the law right now. Bestman's going to have words with you. Cool. And then what about, did you take a risk to help someone as part of one of your bonds with them?
Well, Cause is a useful accomplice, so we certainly were in this together, and he did a great job playing off of that. So
sweet. There we go. All right. Now these are for the group. For each yes, everyone gets to mark XP. And then also, if you answered a yes for either or both of those questions, you got an XP for each. Did you have a thrilling adventure?
Yes.
Did you discover something about the galaxy or its history?
Not so much about the galaxy, I don't think. Although we are discovering things about this specific system.
Yeah.
Sure. And it's part of the galaxy. So I think that applies. Yeah. I think that's the spirit of the question. I may refine it. Did you defeat a threat to the region of the people?
Not yet.
Did you recover or redeem someone or something once thought lost?
Not yet.
See, if you bought Nabata, I might have let you edge case into XP there. And then did you restore hope? I think so, yeah.
I think it's Darkest Before the Dawn, right? I think we're
it's Darkest Before the Dawn. All right.
We're on the path. We're on the path to do that.
So then that would be 2 for everyone on top of your drive and bonds. Cool. With the last few minutes that we have, let's quickly move through wishes and stars. We start with wishes so we can end with stars. Who would like to go first with wishes? I'll go first with wishes. I feel like I didn't do a good job of spotlight management this session. And one of my personal, I'd like to try to tilt or angle some more things towards Tossa. I feel like I shortchanged Tossa a little bit. I had a couple setups that I didn't pay off, and I wanted a conversation between Nibbana and Tossa Bray to like kind of foreshadow the revelation, not revolution. And I didn't follow up on it. So that's on me. I will fix that. Who'd like to go first with wishes?
I'll go. I want to see. Oh no, that's turned into a star. I'm excited for this to pop off. I'm really actually like this last half hour of like rapidly mounting tensions on a couple of different layers. I'm really excited to see where that goes. And I also want to see the. I mean, we have a bunch of dangers popping up, so I don't know. It's a wish. I hope we are able to follow up on all these threads. Is the wish? Bad wish. Bad baby.
No squeezy. I'm out of here, motherfucker. Did you guys hear that, by the way? I hear it. I know it's not, but like in that little scene in Enzella, it says thing in Enzella, and the rumor on the internet is that he says, "I'm out, motherfucker," and it kind of sounds like it. It makes me
It
laugh.
does. I'm out.
Go next with wishes.
I
have a-
think I want to find a way to turn Tirla more revolutionary, because I think she's still a bit in her protective bubble. She hasn't really been confronted with the true cruelty of the system that needs to be torn down.
Now you see the full power of this. Sorry. Okay, gotcha.
The
I like that.
battle station.
I will partner with you to have that because I'm excited to see Tirla more revolutionary or altruistic. Either of those are interesting to me. Steven or Cisco? Wishes?
I'll go. I was thinking about towards the end, if we'd had more time, I want to put it on the table, encouraging Mr. Sakamori to return a gift because it's traditional. We haven't received his gift. And maybe I would suggest that that gift is Nibbana?
Ooh.
So,
You want to free the slave girl.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
What is your gift to us? Yeah.
Nice. Cisco, what about you? Any wishes?
Yes. I do want to this dual thing continue to escalate, not necessarily to the death, but and maybe we have a way to spin it so that it becomes a move, that we do in our proverbial playbook. And if it doesn't work out that way, that's fine. I'll play to find out. We do have a holocron on the ship. Looking forward to see how that pops up at some point. I have a move named Bamboozle, Rich. When you parlay with someone on a 7+, you also roll with advantage on your next move with them. So if we could just both make notes that next time that I interact with, what was the name of the person I rolled parlay on?
Was it Sakamori?
Yeah, I guess it was Sakamori. So I'll roll advantage there. I'm down with helping arcs in the long run. Like, that seems cool. Yeah. And also there's another move that I'm looking at, that I can take a move from the Noble playbook. So I wanted to check with you and Dash that you don't have this move, or you're not planning on taking it, or you don't feel like we're crossing paths here. But it's something about, like, if you land on a planet, or if you go to civilization where you've broken the law before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, above the law.
No. Go ahead and take it, because I've looked at it and felt like it doesn't really fit me. So if you want that, please take it.
Cool. And if we're planning on staying on arcs for a while, Rich, maybe the way we can work that out is I go to another part of arcs and then I'm like, oh yeah, I've been here before, I forgot. And maybe this moves trigger, but it just sounds interesting to land somewhere where me and or my associates have caused trouble before.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have it yet, but it sounds interesting as my next level up move. So
Maybe it could be reworked as, instead of a civilized place, maybe it's like you could focus it on a group instead. Like it's a or social or organizational thing rather than geographical.
It could be Arxis with the moon where you guys were going to. It could be that. Yeah, we'll be mindful of that. I don't want to I don't want you to feel like you need to stick your flag in arcs and do all arcs. This is just part of the story, and if the story feels more fun to move on, let's move right on. No hesitation. Cool. Then Cisco, you went last with wishes. You get to go first with stars.
sure. Start to Cody. I just love the sin cost relationship. Thanks for being down and all the yes and just playing off of each other. I love it. Start you, my friend. And Dash, I love the way you worked in the advice into your speech. I'm talking to this person. but I'm giving code over here. Maybe it's something that our family does. Maybe we play off of that, or maybe we take it to Riven somehow. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Start to Steven. I love the fact that you brought up the carouse move analog. I feel like that really moved the plot forward. So like, start to you as a player for that. That was dope. Start to Rich. Great hard move with bringing up the slavery issue, man. What a good conundrum for Endesh's character, Tirla. That was awesome. And then thank you so much for all the work that you put in behind the scenes. Thank you
thanks.
for all the food research and the pictures and the tab. You are the kind of GM I want to be like when I grow up. I think I told you that several times. So.
Thanks. Cool. Thank you, Cisco. Steven.
I'll go off of that. All of the food made me very hungry, and I'm like, oh, look
I'm
at that.
starving.
And I'm like, I wonder where I could get that. No, there's no way I could ever get that. Okay. I really enjoyed the interaction between Sin and Kaz, on the ship, and then I liked especially you coming in as Lando. I love that you're like, no, I'm gonna impersonate someone important. And then I really liked the why am I the one that you have to come to for money? It was like, well, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's great. Andesh, any stars?
This was a bad session. No, this was this was delightful. I loved everything. Yeah. Not sure I have anything specific that hasn't been mentioned.
It's the rough
already.
stuff. Yeah, it always go in later. Yeah.
Yeah, I did love the flirtation with Kaz. That was fantastic, and Sin's reaction to it. And Tossa playing into being a servant, that was really interesting to try to react to that and keep the balance there. That was interesting. I really.
I'll add a
Awesome.
star, which is a star to Anders and Rich, which was my original thought was I'm not a princess, right? So how am I going to get along in this formal dining thing? I'll be the servant because I'm an outback savage, right? But you guys did a really good job of including me, and I was like, oh, let me go see if I can go talk to the servants. Let me go see it, go back in the kitchen, all that kind of stuff. And I still got to have that, but I was still seated at the table, and I really appreciate the way that you were able to get that to work for me.
I'm glad you liked it. Thank you, Steven. Cody, any stars left out there?
Oh, tons. I'm just ready to deliver them all. I don't know. Cisco coming in as Lando, absolutely top tier stuff. When you just said, what have we here? It was like, I knew it was amazing. And also the duel at the end. Holy crap. That was very exciting. Anders, bringing in the Riven robes at the beginning was so choice. And we talked about this a little bit that, folks wanted to push towards their bonds and stuff like that. And it was just like, what a smart little thing to decide. Is like, oh yeah, he has probably a Riven cut. Like, I don't know. That was just really cool. It was a really smart play. Steven, I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. You always are so good about rules and how to meld the mechanics into the game. And I love it. Rich, the Galaxy's Edge food was amazing. Obviously just happy to see it. Also the multiple pictures of Jessica Henwick for sisters, but neither of them from Star Wars. Top tier stuff. She plays a character in Star Wars, but that's not who's here. And the Rika flirtation was so choice. Didn't know I wanted it, and then it was just. I think that was the thing is like, especially in that dining scene as it ramped up, it was like cool. We have a lot of plates that are being spun, and then you just knew where you could throw one little extra thing in, and it would set off a catastrophe for someone. That was just so incredible because I could see that. I could have seen that scene if I was running it. It would just wrap up like, oh, okay, cool, you have the job, and then the next day. But you're like, no, what's one extra thing I can like? What's a thermal detonator I can drop in here, and it's gonna send the whole thing in a totally different direction. And it was that, and that was and also the slavery thing. I was thinking about it. I was in the future, I might mark slavery as a line in some games because it is such an explosive, like Like if you're ever worried about it derailing your plot, if you all of a sudden have a character have a slave, your characters and your players are immediately going to be like, well, we're going to kill this guy. That's what we're going to do.
That was
And-
amazing. The chat in the wow, that was so good.
It was something that I've had it in some of my games, but it's because I'm reading the games like as they're written. But being on the other side when it pops off, you're like, oh yeah, sure, bounties, whatever. This guy needs to be overthrown right now.
Yeah. And it's super interesting to me because sci-fi does a good job of making analogs.
Yeah.
We're okay with droids, right? But we're not okay with slaves. And it's like, it makes you question those differences. Yeah.
It's cool. I'm glad that it paid off because I worry about, because we had Celebrate move, right? And if you do that little hard move of, oh, Enrica's flirting with Kaz after a successful move, that you have to be careful, right? Otherwise it feels like, well, but this Celebrate was really good. Why are you doing this thing when we rolled this move well? That's it. I've seen groups where that isn't something I would have tried. And I'm glad that I tried it with you guys and it worked out. But I'm always mindful of that, of like, don't subvert the move. When the dice at the table, they help to determine the fiction. Don't steal away the thunder of a move's success by, oh yeah, well, I'm doing a hard move anyway. That's BS.
Well, that
right?
ties in with the, of pick 3 of the options, the one I didn't pick was entangled. That can be as entangled as you want. So that works.
true.
Yeah, it fits totally well in my mind.
Another star, Cisco, a star to you for choosing when to use your luck, right? No, I want to see this play out as a failure. No, now's a time I really want to succeed, and I'm going to spend the luck to do it. Yeah, it was really good.
Yes, I like that. It's masterful. And I like that you verbalize it. That makes it more interesting than just, okay, I failed. Like for you to say, oh, well, I have this. I know I have this. I'm going to speak mechanics for just a moment, but I'm choosing to do. And that's great. You get to determine when your luck pops off, and it's great. So can't wait till next session. I'm really excited for how things will go. We've got lots of things we put up on the table. Let's see how this duel goes. Let's see how Van showing up, how that'll affect the fiction. Side note, that was a little like Rich brought in a character that was one of Will's Bounty of the Week characters. Who unfortunately got to be like one session because of, I think he broke his arm or something. But anyway, so
and it's too bad I'm gonna have to kill him. That's unfortunate.
He's okay with it. I think I'll check in. Anyway, it's gonna be great.
Which
Awesome.
character is it?
It's in the character NPC tab. His name is Van. He's down on row 36. Vanagander, the other bounty hunter who is force sensitive. I only throw that term out because it tickles me. It's probably not a thing you'd say in the world. Like how would they even have that? But Rich did it anyway. So,
well, the thing about the Force guys is we don't need to get into it. It's kind of
you start to proselytize.
It's kind of similarly like it's hyperspace it might be a layer of the Force. They just don't know this yet, but it's kind of like it's a thing because it connects.
The Pergil actually. It doesn't matter.
Listen to High Republic, guys. Everyone read the High Republic books. It's getting wild out there.
Thank you guys so much for the play. We'll bring the recording to a stop here.